What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Grasp of Avarice returns as this week's featured dungeon rotator, and with its return, you'll have one last chance this season to take advantage of the best high-stat Artifice armor farm in Destiny. To those unaware, Artifice armor is exclusive to Master Dungeons, only available from Ghost of the Deep, Duality, Spire of the Watchers, and Grasp of Avarice. And it's the Grasp of Avarice that's going to give you the best opportunity to quickly and easily farm for high stat drops of Artifice armor, as well as god rolls of weapons like the Matador shotgun and the Ice Luna hand cannon. Artifice armor is just like legendary armor, but it has one additional armor socket, which allows you to apply 3 extra points to any base stat. This makes it a lot easier to put together those triple and quadruple 100 stat builds. Just like any other piece of legendary armor, Artifice armor can be focused with the use of ghost mods, which will ensure that future drops come with high stats in that designated area. Artifice armor has a chance at dropping during each of the 3 main encounters of this dungeon, and since it's the weekly rotator, these encounters can be completed over and over again for additional armor drops. The first encounter against the giant ogre has a chance at dropping boots and class item, and the Matador shotgun. The fallen shield will drop gloves and chest armor, and the Hero of Ages sword. And the final boss, Captain Avarice, will drop up to 2 items, which can include any of this dungeon's armor or weapons. The Fallen Shield encounter is without a doubt the easiest encounter to farm, since there's no boss, but with the chance of getting 2 Artifice armor drops, I find it best to farm at Captain Avarice. And thanks to this week's modifiers, this will be an extremely easy boss fight to farm. Along with strand damage getting surged this week, we'll have void damage getting surged, with rocket launchers getting overcharged. With the right loadouts in play, these modifiers are going to add a lot of bonus damage that will help you tear through the rank and file enemies and those big bad bosses. Hunters can play it 2 ways this week: a strand build with Star Eaters or Foe Tracers, or a tether build with the Gerfalcon. Well of Radiance will be a tremendous benefit when taking on the Ogre or Captain Avarice, but any extra Warlocks will need to go with a Nova Bomb or a strand build. Since most Void Titan builds are rather weak in comparison right now, Titans will have the most success with a Banner of War strand build, but a Thunder Crash and Cuirass is always going to provide a ton of DPS. With rocket launchers getting overcharged, the Gallarhorn can play a significant part towards boosting your team's damage. So one teammate will need to run this exotic, while the other 2 utilize legendary rocket launchers. The Apex Predator, the Hothead, or Cold Comfort would be the ideal candidates that can be paired up with the Witherhorde to apply additional damage against those bosses. With 4th times the charm and target lock, the Retrofit Escapade continues to shred and will make for a great non-rocket DPS option. Alternatively, the Two-Tailed Fox, the Leviathan's Breath, or the Deathbringer could be great exotic options. And to give the entire team an additional 30% damage, someone could take on the duties of Tractor Cannon. With a variety of hard-hitting options at your disposal, each of the encounters within this dungeon will be a breeze this week. The Ogre encounter can be tricky because the boss's Void Blasts will melt you pretty quickly, so keep this in mind when grabbing the Scorch Cannon and opening the doorways. You will need an anti-barrier weapon to take down the champions that are contained within each room. Don't be afraid to use your supers in each of these rooms. As long as you're collecting Ingrams, you'll quickly regain it. When entering damage phase, be sure to plant your well right next to the crystal so you can have at least a bit of cover against the boss during damage. Even with a group of 3 average players, you should see yourself defeating this boss in 2 to 3 phases, giving you a great opportunity to get class items and boots that are Artifice armor, and to be able to get the Matador. When farming Captain Avarice, you will want to start the encounter by popping a Well of Radiance and a Tether right at the doorway where the boss's lackeys come out from. Taking out this Shank and Vandal combo early will make everything else much easier, especially when it comes to depositing engrams. But keep in mind that they do spawn back in after each damage phase, so you will need to take these guys out before you start a second damage phase. There will be sets of 3 barrier servitors that will continuously spawn in, along with rank and file ads. These enemies will be a great source for ammo and super energy, but collecting engrams to engage the next damage phase is ultimately the higher priority. With the right team chemistry and proper communication, you can easily take down this final boss in 2 phases, giving you an extremely efficient method to farm high stat Artifice armor. And with that being said, I wish you all the best of luck throughout this week in farming for Artifice armor. Let me know how your farm is going in the comments down below, and let me know what build you decided to take in. Thank you as always for checking out today's video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. If you're a new Light Guardian, just starting your journey, or a battle-hardened veteran, just looking for a new home, then be sure to check out the Discord link in the description below and join one of the greatest communities in all of Destiny. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.